What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dscotty, and I'm here for another video. I wanted to do 5 things that I do not like about my S4. Now, before I get into this, these aren't things that would have steered me away from getting this car. Just owning this car over the 1.5 years are just things that I've noticed that kind of irk me or I just don't really like. And I don't think that they should necessarily sway your opinion. If you're on the fence about getting this car, this is a phenomenal car and I would highly recommend it to anyone. But these are just a couple of things that annoy me and I just don't like about it. So number 1 is the backup camera. The backup camera itself is okay. You get 2 different kind of views or layouts that you can pick from when you're backing up, depending on what you're doing. But the quality is just not there for me. It looks like it's like a 3 megapixel camera and it's just kind of blotchy and not very clear. And especially at nighttime, oh my gosh, it's not even really that helpful at night. The backup sensors are way more helpful at nighttime, so you do have that going on, but it's just, I feel as though when you're buying a car like this and you're spending the kind of money, especially coming from Audi, it should just be a little better. Now, I could be a little biased here, and I did test drive a Tesla Model 3, and the backup camera on that was crystal clear. I mean, it was such a good looking view, but I just wish it didn't look so, I don't want to say outdated, but just not high resolution. The second thing I do not like about this car is the Bluetooth. Now, I've heard a couple of other people complain about this when I was looking into getting this car. The way, I don't know if it's just my phone or if it's just the system itself, but the Bluetooth it's pretty bad. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's pretty bad. It takes forever to connect when you start up the car to my phone, and I've had the same phone since I've had the car, and there's no other phones linked to the car or anything like that. It just takes so long to connect, which it's not a huge deal, it's just annoying for me. Also, sometimes when I'm just randomly driving, it'll just disconnect and it won't be able to find my phone, even though it's sitting right here plugged into the charger or just on the phone mount. And I use my phone a lot for mostly music, occasional navigation, and it can just be really frustrating when it won't connect to the car properly. So that's just annoying to me. All right, the third thing that I do not like about this car is its similarities to the A4, and more so cosmetically. Engine wise, there's a huge difference, but I just think they look too similar to the S4. I just think it looks too similar to the A4. Driving this car around, it sometimes did get confused prior to me putting some cosmetic upgrades on it, getting confused with the A4. And I kind of wish there was some more differences. There are some subtle differences, like the quad exhaust tips. I believe Audi says it's like 1 inch lower or 1/2 inch, something like that. It's a little bit lower, but I don't know. When you look at BMW, for example, and you've got their 328 and their 335, and then you compare it to the M3, I mean, you can tell when something's an M3 versus the basic 335 or 328. So I just kind of wish Audi would have done a little bit more to kind of divide the two so they weren't confused as much. It did get kind of annoying. People be like, oh, that's a nice A4 you got there. And it's like, nah, it's an S4, but thanks. Now, engine-wise, yeah, it's a completely different car and much more noticeable, but I'm just more so focused on it cosmetically. Now, I did throw a front lip, a new grille, the grille accessory, a trunk lip, and eventually I'll put on a rear diffuser. but without those, it's just too similar, in my opinion, to the base A4. So that's kind of annoying. I don't really like that, especially with the kind of money you spend between the two. The fourth thing that I do not like is Audi did not include a dipstick. That is annoying. I get it that it's all about being electronic and high tech, but I like being able to see my own oil and check it myself. Instead, they just give you, it's like a little yellow cap that just blocks where a dipstick would be. Now, I did end up going and buying myself a dipstick. You can get them anywhere from 20 to 70 bucks. I got myself a nice aluminum one, but you could have just gotten a regular plastic one. But I just think it should still be included with the car. I mean, come on, Audi. Let's be real. The fifth and final thing I don't like about this car is this pillar right here. It's not too bad. I've been in cars where it's much worse, but it's just a blind spot. Now, you do have the blind spot monitoring, which is pretty nice, but if you go to do like a quick head check, you're looking right into this thing, and that's a little annoying, but not a huge deal. Just got to look a little bit more, kind of do one of those look behind it, look in front of it type of things. But I mean, with the blind spot monitoring, the mirror, and head checking, it's you can get around it. It's just a little annoying, that's all. So those are my top 5 things that I've kind of grown to dislike about the car. With that being said, no, if I'd known these going into buying this car, they still wouldn't have swayed me away from not getting it. I think this car is phenomenal, and those couple little things don't weigh out all the great things about the car. And you know, there's always going to be something that you don't like about a car. No car is 100% perfect and flawless. Those are just some of the things that I've kind of encountered and encounter on a daily basis with the car. But again, don't let that sway you from not buying this car. It is a great car to have, and there's so much you can do with this car. But I hope, you know, if you're interested in this car or this type of car, that this may or may not have helped you. Hopefully it did. But like always, I really appreciate you watching and checking out this video. Let me know in the comments, you know, what are some things that you dislike about your car? What kind of car do you drive? And, you know, is it a hindrance factor for you owning the car or wanting to get the car, or did you still end up getting it? Let me know, and I will see you in the next video.